because Bailey's quite keen by the look of it. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your travels, because you're in France now, and obviously you seem to have a particular kind of association with Australia.
Yeah, I don't know how that's happened. Well, I do. We went there and we were very successful there. And so I've got some friends there. But what are you referring back to then? Because my photographer is Australian, but he lives in Rome. The photographer on the cover of I Came Here to Blow Minds was Australian. The I Came Here to Blow Minds was mixed in Australia, in Sydney. Yeah, I don't know. What are you referring to?
You seem to have done a fair bit of touring out there and seem to have quite, quite
well,
popular there,
our three main territories for sales in Transvision were UK, Spain, and Australia. By miles, Australia went. I think, I don't know. You'd have to Wikipedia it, but a lot of top 5 or top #1 hits in Australia.
Any idea why you were so popular in Australia?
Well,
what do you think?
I guess we provided them the kind of attitude and look that Australians go for.
There's got to be something in there, hasn't there? I was digging around the other day, by the way, and I found your appearance on the Michael Aspel show.
Oh, I haven't seen that for a while.
And he was obviously sitting next to Michael Palin.
Yeah.
And I just wondered, just totally innocuous, left of center question, but he just seemed to sort of connect with him, and he just seemed like,
he was wonderful.
Yeah.
I fell madly in love with him. On that set. He was just such, because I do remember he was the other person on that set was Maureen Lipman.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
She was discussing, do you remember those, was it BT adverts?
Oh, yeah.
And she was and I was very youthful and naive, etc. I'm a little bit opinionated. Hang on. Bailey's really bored, Orlando. Sorry. Poor dog. Bailey, we'll go out soon.
We'll keep you along.
Anyway, she was discussing about her role as whatever in that BT thing.
Yeah.
And Michael Aspel turned to me and said, well, have you ever done any adverts, Wendy? And I, in all of my arrogance of youth, said, oh, I don't think it's my role to tell anybody what they should spend their money on. Maureen didn't like that very much. And then Michael Palin came to my defense because she started in on me a bit.
Yeah.
And Michael kind of had my back. So I just always thought, well, I mean, I love Monty Python anyway, and I love those travels with Michael Palin.
Yeah,
brilliant. He's an all-round good guy, isn't he?
Yeah. No, it just came across, in that interview just as really gentlemanly, and trying to involve you in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to stay in touch with him and make him my friend, but showbiz doesn't work like that always. Yeah. I think he's just a really nice person.
Yeah. He's one of my most fascinating people, I think. Coming back to Queen High Straight, moving away from Monty Python, as we do. I think you mentioned James Clavounos, and in particular having a bit of an influence on some of the kind of production on particular songs. I
mean, well, yeah. Are you talking about The Impression of Normalcy?
I think so, yeah.
We'd got to track 16 and a lot of it was mid-tempo, and he said, can we speed this song up, please? And that's how come it ended up being a speed punk. I mean, James, he is my counsel, COUNSEL. I run stuff by him as a sounding board. That doesn't mean I necessarily agree with him, but it's good to have. He definitely knows more about equipment than me. So if I say this is the kind of effect I'm looking for, he would definitely be able to tell me how to achieve that effect. And he's wise, and he's pretty misanthropic, and it's all very it's all very, very freeing to be around James, because he's done enough that he too doesn't really much mind what people say or think about him.
Yeah. Just wanted to say quickly as well, I was really interested as a songwriter a little bit myself. When you got, I think it was song 14, and you had the 6 to go, and then you had your eureka moment.
Yeah, my eureka moment was was it Cancel It, I'll See Him on Monday?
Yes, I think
I
so.
kind of I knew I had to keep going because it was always my intention to do 20. So there wasn't a question of stopping.
Mm.
But a natural arc of an album is 10 to 13 songs to expand. It's not expunge, to, purge yourself of all of the buildup of feelings and ideas that you have.
Yeah.
And then to push on through to 20 becomes a really interesting exercise, because you actually do have to go deeper and push yourself harder and force yourself to be more you can't be lazy. You have to force yourself to be more creatively talented than a 10-track album. You can do all of what you have to offer in 10 songs, and then to do 10 more
Yeah,
that
it's a lot of songs.
aren't repeats.
Yeah, a lot of songs.
And then I don't know how it happened. I pushed through and I came up with Cancel It, I'll See Him on Monday, and I just ran out into the garden shouting, like, Eureka, I've got it.
Yeah, lovely.
Because regardless, and other people, surprisingly, that's not particularly their favorite on the album. They have other choices. But for me, when I hear Cancel It, I'll See Him on Monday, I just think it's a perfect pop song.
So, of course, Wendy, you soon be taking those songs, because, thankfully gigs are coming back. You'll be going out touring and playing all over the place. I think you're playing in Cardiff, in Wales, at the Globe.
Yeah, where's your show going out to?
Well, it's in Cardiff, so this will be going to the Cardiff.
Good.
Yeah. So you've hit the
well,
Cardiff.
not just Cardiff, but Swansea as well.
Okay, yeah, they're the enemy here. Did you know that?
Oh, why?
There's a rivalry between
What,
Cardiff and
football
Swansea.
or something,
I
or
think mostly
rugby?
football, yeah, but it verges into other things. It's silly, really.
I don't think for music though. Surely.
No, not for music. No, not for music. No.
Music is the great uniter. Yeah, Cardiff. So I don't know how Club Ifobach.
Bobby Vobach, yeah, very good, yeah.
That I'm really excited to play that.
It's a cool venue to play, by the way, in Cardiff.
Yeah,
It's a nice venue.
It's one of the ones I've seen friends of mine play, and I never have played it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So that was, ticked off my to-do list.
Yeah.
And Swansea asked me, and the venue is beautiful. It's a cinema.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to play lots of great footage behind me as we go.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And it's a real shame, because when they first booked me, it was pre-COVID, and they were going to, instead, my opening act was going to be the Suzi Quatro documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm in.
Oh, wow.
So I was going to host, if you like, the Suzi Quatro documentary, and they'd got artisanal local food makers to make lovely kind of banquet. So you'd come for the cinema, you'd come for the banquet, and then topped off with my gig. And it was like, man, if I wasn't in the band, this is an evening that I'd go to.
Yeah.
And then COVID kind of, put an end to that. And I don't know what they're planning for my opening act.
Something good, hopefully.
But they're such lovely people, and it's a lot. Some of these venues, I'm playing a church in Paisley. So, I mean, it's not a church. It's a reconditioned rock and roll venue out of an old church, which I assume is the acoustics are great. But all sorts. We're going to discover a lot. I'm starting off in Blackpool, so that's exciting. We start with the lights.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only last thing I wanted to ask you about, really, because the album, Queen High Straight, was originally due to be, it was kind of the big push would have been from May kind of last year, wouldn't it? So it's all been on hold. So what's it like for you as a singer, songwriter, performer with so much to say, to actually, get out there and do it again? It must be incredibly exciting for you.
So once I see those musicians and we start plugging in our amps, it's going to feel very good indeed. And then once we board the splitter van 2 weeks later on the 26th and head to Blackpool, that's going to be really exciting too.
Well, Wendy, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Can I tell your listeners, please go and get Queen High Straight, and you can get it from my web store, which is thewendyjames.com/store. And t-shirts, posters, all of it. But catch up on my music.
And come to the gigs.
Oh, come to the gigs. Please get your Cardiff and Swansea tickets ASAP.
Well, I'll leave you with Bailey. And thank you very much, Wendy. Great to talk to you.
Bye, Bailey.
All the best. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Wendy. Thank you.
All the best to Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.